Alright guys, today I'm bringing you a unique item guide on Borderlands 3, and in this video we'll be looking at the Hyperion Shield, known as the MSRC Auto-Dispensary. The red text on the shield reads, "Better living through medical science." And what it does is it has a 1 in 3 chance of dropping a special type of pill. There are 2 types of pills, and they both have their own buffs and debuffs. Firstly though, to get this shield you want to start the side mission known as Healers and Dealers. This side mission can be found at the bounty board by the Catch a Ride by where you first meet Lorelei in the Meridian outskirts. To get the shield, there's an optional task that you need to complete when fetching one of the 3 rounds of medical supplies. The closest waypoint to where Ace Baron is located will require you to climb up one of the pillars of a bridge. In a container just underneath the bottom side of the bridge, there will be a man known as Hardin. You'll have a choice to either threaten him to get the medical supplies, or you can donate him some money. And in order to get this shield, you want to give him the money. It only costs $1,000, so it's not too bank breaking. Once you've done this, you want to finish the mission as normal. When you deliver all the supplies to Ace Baron, he will say that Hardin stopped by and wanted to give you something as a way of saying thanks. And that something is the Auto-Dispensary shield. I decided to find some of the specifics of the effects of these upper and downer pills that can drop. Firstly, just a rundown of what each pill does. The downer pill lasts for 8 seconds. It gives you increased damage, damage reduction, and reload speed. At the same time, it will decrease your fire rate and movement speed and cause you to constantly lose health. The upper pill also lasts for 8 seconds. It increases your movement speed, fire rate, and gives you health regeneration. And as well as this, it will decrease your damage, accuracy, and handling. While using these effects in combat, I found that some of the effects weren't really noticeable. For example, the health regeneration, while yes, it's health regeneration, it seems to only be about 200 HP per second. When the damage you could take could be 12 times that in a single bullet, it wasn't really a noticeable effect. Other things included the decrease to accuracy and handling. I didn't really notice those. I didn't notice the damage reduction or the decrease in fire rate. The side effect of constantly losing health wasn't really noticeable either. But obviously, if you keep picking these pills up, it does add up, and then eventually it will down you. The other effects, however, I decided to have a little in-depth look because these were the effects that I noticed made a difference. For example, the upper pill increases movement speed and the downer pill decreases movement speed. So I decided to test how long it took for me to run a certain distance normally with the upper pill buff and the downer pill debuff. Without any buffs, it took 4 seconds and 22 frames to run the distance. With the downer pill debuff, it took 4 seconds and 59 frames. And with the upper pill buff, it took 3 seconds and 52 frames. This translates to roughly a 14% decrease with the downer pill debuff in movement speed, and a 11.5% increase to movement speed with the upper pill buff. I also tested the damage changes. With the downer pill buff, I was getting roughly plus 7.5% damage. And with the upper pill debuff, I was getting roughly a 5% damage reduction. I tested the upper pill fire rate buff. With the Fibbit, it took 1 second and 32 frames to empty my ammo from the moment I fired the first shot to the moment my ammo counter said 0. With the buff active, it took 1 second and 19 frames to do the same thing. This translates roughly into a plus 14% fire rate increase. Finally, I decided to test the reload speed buff with the downer pill. Without the buff, it took me 1 second and 50 frames to reload. With the buff, it took 1 second and 31 frames. This translates to roughly a plus 17.5% increase to reload speed. Personally, when I was using the shield and not focusing on whether any of the effects were active, I didn't actually notice that many. In particular, I noticed the movement speed increase with the upper pill buff. I noticed the movement speed debuff with the downer pill. I also noticed the health regeneration and degeneration. But apart from those 4, I didn't really notice any of the weapon buffs or debuffs. The buffs and debuffs are so minuscule that you'll only really notice them with things that have a slow fire rate or a slow reload speed. I don't really use booster shields, so I don't have the first thought of, oh, I've taken damage, I need to pick up the booster that's dropped. Because I was trying to test the shield out, I found myself picking up the boosters a lot more. But if I was to just naturally use the shield, I'd probably pick up a pill here and there Probably if I'm taking damage and an upper pill dropped, I'd pick it up for the movement speed bonus. Obviously, if you're a big fan of booster shields, definitely pick this shield up. If you're constantly going through the boosters, then you may find a much more noticeable difference with how your weapons act and so on. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe for future unique item guides on my channel. And yeah, see you in the next video.